What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. A little bit of a random sports dump for you, as we always start off with. Prayers out to Greg Popovich. I know I mentioned like a week or two ago that he took a leave of absence and he was feeling a little bit under the weather. We're not sure what happened. He had a mild stroke on back on November 2nd, which at this point was just about 2 weeks ago. So he is still recovering. Does not have a timetable when he returned to coaching this season, but he is expected to make a full recovery. But he did suffer a mild stroke. Remember, Greg Popovich is obviously getting up there in age. If I had to guess, he's probably inching into his 70s. If I had to guess, certainly in his 60s for sure, if not a little bit older than that. So I'll want to send my well wishes to Greg Popovich. Also, the Tampa Bay Rays have a little conundrum. So they cannot play at Tropicana Field this season. After the hurricane, that really bad hurricane that hit the Tampa area in Florida, the roof completely shattered. And it just came out this week that it needs $56 million in repairs. And it will not be ready until 2026. So this season, they'll be playing in the New York Yankees spring training facility. That's where they'll be playing. Look, the Rays stadium, their stadium was pretty nice. It definitely needs some repair, but look, I went to a Rays game one time. And I used to go to like all different stadiums with my dad. We used to do baseball trips when I was younger. That's one of the places that we got to, Tropicana Field in Tampa, where the Rays play. Overall, I thought the stuff around the stadium was really cool. The stadium itself was pretty nice. But obviously, it's, a lot of these stadiums are much newer nowadays compared to a lot of other stadiums. Theirs is a little bit older. I guess the Rays haven't been around that long. We think that this has just been their field the whole time they've been in the league. They've been in the league. I mean, they're a newer team, but they've still been around for, probably close to 30 years, if not more than that. So it's gotten a little older. But to be playing in the Yankees spring training facility, which obviously is not ideal, but they gotta play somewhere, I guess. And the Yankee spring facility is down there. It's not terribly far from Tropicana Field, so not far at all, actually. So that makes the most sense. Someone said to me the other day, Oakland is the chances the funniest thing ever before they officially gave the Rays a home. So that would have been hilarious, but obviously that was just a pipe dream. Rays will be playing in the New York Yankees spring training facility down there in Tampa. The Angels signed Travis d'Arnaud, veteran catcher, 2 years, $12 million after his option decline, body loss, Angeles Angels. d'Arnaud didn't have his best years here at 238, 15 home runs, 48 RBI, just a 302 on base, OPS was just 739. He also came with the Mets, was a highly touted prospect by the Mets after they got him in that, of course, famous R.I. Dickey trade after when he won the Cy Young and sent him to Toronto for Noah Syndergaard and Travis d'Arnaud, but then probably a lose for both sides. R.I. Dickey went to Cy Young and then was a mediocre pitcher in Toronto for 4 or 5 years, and then shortly after that, his career was basically over. Noah Syndergaard, after a couple of great years with the Mets, fizzled out, and Travis d'Arnaud really never got going. Ever since he left the Mets, he's turned into a very good catcher, at least offensively. He had a good year in Tampa. He's been in Atlanta for a while, and he's turned into a really good player, one of the better offensive catchers in the league. But the last couple of years, age starting to show. 2 years ago, he had some injuries, only at 225, only played 74 games in this past year, only 99 games. He hit 238 this year. And his defense, which he has never really been a great defender, but prior to the last 2 seasons, he had been a little better defensively. But he was negative 6 on defensive runs saved this past year. He was at negative 7 in I think 2020, but his DRS was 4, then 6 in 21 and 22, though it was an even 0 2 years ago. And this past year was negative 6, so he's still an okay hitter. He's still a somewhat decent hitter, but not a great defender. But he could probably still be a decent backup catcher for sure. Now, he's been around for a long time. He won a World Series with the Atlanta Braves in 2021. He's got a lot of playoff experience. He has a World Series ring. Been around a while. He's going to be 36 this year. Angels have a lot of young players he can mentor. And he's definitely still a very solid backup catcher because he still has enough pop in his bat. And before we extend, corner, Demondre Lenore, 5 years, $92 million. Lenore, he had a bit of a breakout year last year with the 49ers. He had over 80 tackles on the season, 84 to be exact. 3 interceptions, 10 pass defenses. He's having another good year this year. 53 tackles. So far this year, 2 picks, 6 pass defenses, and a 4th fumble. So he got, my math is correct, a little over $18 million a year. Is he an $18 million a year corner? I'm not sure. 49ers, I don't know how they can afford to give out all these freaking contracts. And they got to probably pay our mediocre quarterback in Brock Purdy like he's freaking elite this offseason. So I don't know how they're going to find money to do that. I know when they signed Ayuk, they restructured Debo's deal to give him free up some money. And now you just give Lenore a big deal. So, I mean, I don't know how they keep coming with this money. Like, he's a good player. Most of he's worth all that. I mean, so far this year, like, he's 20th in passer rating allowed. He's 35th in covering is 35th. So, I mean, he's not amazing, but he's been pretty good. He's been, I'll say very good, even is definitely fair. Now, he's still young, still only 25 years old. Now, you know, good young corners do not grow on trees. That's for sure. You know, 49ers secondary has been a little bit leaky in recent years, so you got to lock down as many pieces that you have in that unit. But at the same time, if you don't win the Super Bowl this year, which is very likely they're not going to, they're not even in first place in their own division right now. It's week 11. Although they should probably have a favorite to still come out of that division, although Arizona is playing very well right now. If San Francisco wins this week, which I think they will against Seattle, they'll now be tied with Arizona, heading into the home stretch of the year, heading into the final 6-7 weeks of the season. You know, but the Detroit Lions, I would definitely take the Lions to beat them in a playoff game, for sure. Like they could they beat Philadelphia? I'm sure they would beat, you know, Philadelphia. They would beat, you know, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sure they would beat the Green Bay Packers, like they always do. They certainly would beat, you know, those teams that, you know, just kind of sneaking in, like, you know, the Washington Commanders or whoever, you know, wild card just kind of, you know, sneaks on in, the Minnesota Vikings, whoever. But even if once they get to, you know, I would assume the NFC Championship against the Lions, I don't see them winning that game. And this team is as Super Bowl or bust as you could possibly get. So, good deal, but at the same time, I don't know, you know, how they're coming up with all this money. And if you don't win the Super Bowl at this point, now your window's starting to really close. And, you know, once you extend Purdy now, next year, if you do not win the Super Bowl, it's a lost cause. All right, so we're going to do game picks for college football, and then we're going to close this thing out. Let's start off. It's just the Saturday slate this week. It is week 12 in college football. We are getting towards the home stretch. I talked about college football playoff with Nick yesterday. Hope you all enjoyed that. Number 2, Ohio State against Northwestern. Ohio State should win easily. Northwestern is very bad. Ohio State can obviously beat up on all those very bad teams. It's, you know, Michigan, they're not, you know, like, not as bad as they are this year. They obviously have a lot of trouble with. They beat, you know, the fraudulent Penn State, you know, those top teams. It's where they have trouble. But against Northwestern, they win that, no problem. Number 3, Texas against Arkansas. Texas should win that game, no problem. Arkansas isn't great. Texas definitely wins that one. Utah against number 17, Colorado. Colorado wins. They've been playing well. Haven't really played anybody, but they've been taking care of business. Shedeur Sanders over 2,800 yards, 24 touchdowns against 6 interceptions. Hunter, 69 catches, 856 yards, and 9 scores on the year for him. Colorado should definitely beat the Utes, who have been a disappointment this year in their first year in the Big 12. Number 20, Clemson against Pitt. Pitt just dropped out of the rankings. Clemson should win that one. You know, 2 weeks ago, yeah, tough loss. I cannot imagine them getting into the college football playoff, but Clemson should win that game. Number 25, Tulane against Navy. Give me Tulane. Navy's been good this year. They're 7-2. They've had a good year. A couple of weeks ago, they were actually ranked. But Tulane's also been very good this year. I think Tulane sneaks by. That should be a close game. I could see Tulane not covering the 7 points, but Tulane should win the game. Mercer against number 10, Alabama. Alabama by a lot. Mercer's actually 9-1. I don't know who they're playing. Obviously, it's not nearly the team that Alabama's playing. No kidding, obviously, but they're 9-1. So, I mean, on my app here, they didn't even list the freaking spread. Maybe because it would be so huge, it wouldn't even look right. But Alabama wins that game. They're sitting obviously at 10 right now. Number 4, Penn State against Purdue. Penn State will win that game. Purdue is god awful this year. They have his 1-1 win all season. Give me the Nittany Lions in that game. Virginia against number 8, Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame. They've been playing well. Virginia isn't great. Notre Dame should win without much trouble. Then you have Boston College against number 14, SMU. Give me SMU. They've been playing really well. All of a sudden, you look at this team like, ooh, could they be in the ACC championship game? It's possible. Boston College isn't great. SMU takes care of business here. Number 19, Louisville against Stanford. Give me Louisville. Again, Louisville's not. I cannot imagine there's a scenario where they even get that close to getting into the college football playoff, but they're in the top 20 right now, playing well. Stanford's really bad. Give me Louisville. Number 22, LSU against Florida. If LSU loses to the Florida Gators, Brian Kelly should be investigated for every fraud on the planet. The line's 3.5. That seemed to look. LSU isn't that good. They're a fraud. They're obviously not going to make the college football playoff, but Florida is not good. That's somewhat disrespectful to LSU. This game shouldn't be that close, to be honest. LSU wins. If they don't, there needs to be an investigation on Brian Kelly. Number 23, Missouri against number 21, South Carolina. Give me South Carolina. South Carolina's favored by 13.5. That's a pretty big number. I do think they will win this game. I like how they're playing. I do think they're a slightly better football team than Missouri, but I am going to take the Gamecocks to win that game. Number 13, Boise State against San Jose State. Give me Boise State. They should pretty easily beat the group of 5 that gets the automatic bid this year. San Jose State, they're just much better than. Obviously, they're playing a Mountain West schedule, obviously. Boise State, when Ashton Gentry continues his dominance, he's got over 1,700 yards and 23 touchdowns this year through 9 games. That is just insane. Arizona State against number 16, Kansas State. Give me Kansas State. Arizona State's been better this year, but still, they're overmatched in this game. Number 1, Oregon against Wisconsin. Give me Oregon. Wisconsin is not great. Dylan Gabriel's thrown for 2,000 yards, 22 touchdowns against 5 interceptions. Give me the Ducks. Number 7, Tennessee against number 12, Georgia. Should definitely be the game of the week. I'm going to take Georgia. I think this will be a close game. Not sure if Georgia will cover them 9.5 points. I don't think they will. They're not as dominant as they've been the last couple of years. They've also played a really hard schedule. Obviously, you play Texas, who you actually beat. You play Alabama, who obviously nicked you out in that great game. You just lost to Ole Miss this past week. Now you get Tennessee, so they have a murderer's row schedule, maybe the hardest in the country. I like Tennessee. I think they're a good team, but I don't know if they're a great team. Georgia's kind of in the same boat. Like I said, not as dominant. I'm not sold on Carson Beck. His turnovers are definitely a problem. But I think Georgia. I was going to pick Tennessee heading into this game. Throughout the week, I was thinking I might pick Tennessee. Georgia looked a little concerning last week, but I over the last 24 hours or so, I kind of went back on that, and I do think Georgia will sneak by. New Mexico State against number 15, Texas A&M. A&M, by the way, they're favored by 39. Goodness gracious! So I mean, they're going to win that game by a lot. They're a very very good team. New Mexico State is god awful, but yeah, A&M definitely wins that game. Number 18, Washington State against New Mexico. I'm not a New Mexico team. Washington State wins that one, no problem. They should definitely cover the 10.5 points. And then Kansas against number 6, BYU. BYU went 6. Who had that on their bingo card? I got BYU. Only favored by 2.5. I think they will cover that. I don't think it'll be complete blowout. Kansas is not very good, but I think they could keep it close. BYU isn't your overpowering top 6 team that we see a lot. But I do think BYU will win this game for sure. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.